Following the sharp downturn in the aviation industry following the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020, we have gradually seen some airlines around the world implement their strategies for their recovery. For the most part, there is a common theme which includes cost cutting, and among these plans include reduction of the numbers of aircraft on their fleets, especially the older and large super jumbo jets that no longer can be a viable part of most airlines' fleets. The most recent airline to make an announcement as part of adjustments of the fleet is Japan Airlines, as they will be changing their flagship aircraft. Along with that, Japan Airlines is also making a big play with its budget carrier subsidiaries. The Tokyo-based airline's decision to change its flagship aircraft is part of a new medium-term management plan that was recently released in early May. That plan gives us a preview of what we could see from Japan Airlines between 2021 to 2025. Within this report, the biggest headline was, of course, the change from the 777 aircraft, which currently is the flagship aircraft, to the Airbus A350s, which the airline plans to give more of a bigger responsibility for the future in both the international and domestic network. By 2023, the airline plans to introduce A350s on international flights, as currently the 8 A350-900s on the fleet are primarily deployed within the airline's domestic network. By 2023, the number of A350s is expected to rise to around 18. By that time, the airline also expects to take in the first deliveries of the A350-1000s, which will be used on the international network. While the newer Airbus A350s are expected to take on a much bigger role, the role of the current flagship, the Boeing 777, will be diminished. In October of last year, the airline previously announced that it would retire around 24 Boeing 777s, as the 777 fleet for Japan Airlines will be reduced from 39 in 2019 to around 13 by the year 2023. For now, the airline will be shifting some of the 777-200 extended range aircraft on the international network for use on domestic flights. According to Japan Airlines, this move will improve the fuel efficiency of the airline by around 25%, and passengers will welcome the improved interiors on the aircraft. This is also part of a much bigger move for the airline to reduce its number of large aircraft fleet, making up 18% of the fleet in fiscal year 2019 to around 14% by the fiscal year 2023. This reduction in large aircraft also covers the budget airlines, which will also see a shift by the Japan Airlines group. After initial reports were surfacing on aviation industry sites, the airline's medium-term plans confirmed reports that the airline was planning to get a bigger stake in the Japan-based subsidiary of Chinese-based budget airline Spring Airlines. Japan Airlines is currently a 5% stakeholder of Spring Airlines Japan, and reports have stated that the airline is planning to take on a much bigger stake of the carrier by around June of this year. This move is made in anticipation of the recovery of the Chinese tourism market to Japan, which prior to the pandemic was a major source of tourism for the country. By having a much larger stake in the budget carrier, Japan Airlines plans to continue the focus on China with the airline, and using the budget airline to launch new routes to Chinese cities with a population of around 10 million. This would be backed up by the strong brand recognition of Spring Airlines in China. Between these two moves, the biggest change that made headlines was plans of the A350 to be the new Japan Airlines flagship, supplanting Boeing, which has for the most part been a major player in Japan Airlines history from the 747 to the 777s. Now, it's true it is a major shift for Japan Airlines to take in Airbus aircraft, first of up to 31 aircraft taken in for delivery in 2019. Like the 747 and the 777 before it, being the flagship aircraft, it will be prominently more featured in advertising and marketing for the airline. Yet looking at the current fleet of the airline, it will still continue to be a major Boeing aircraft operator from the 737s, 767s, 777s, and the newer 787 Dreamliner. The 49 787s of Japan Airlines aren't going anywhere, as it has continued to play its role as the main workhorse of the airline. It's often deployed on a variety of routes from the short regional flights to long-haul destinations in North America and Europe. Along with the 787s, Japan Airlines also has a sizable fleet of 767s and 737s, some of which are approaching their 15 years of service with the airline. While the 787s have replaced the 767s in some routes, so far Japan Airlines has not retired the aircraft, as with the 737-800s. These jets still play a prominent role with the airline, and unless anything else is announced, Japan Airlines is still a primary Boeing aircraft operator. I definitely hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Flights in Asia, highlighting the news and updates in the aviation and travel scene in the Asia Pacific. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.